Josh, for the people that was starving to get this back here and the fans are hearing this for the first time, what do you want to say to them?
What I want to say is we're putting our heart and soul into making this happen. We feel exactly the same way, and so these things are complicated. They take a long time. There's a lot of constituencies, a lot of stakeholders. You got to go through the process in a very appropriate and transparent way. But we're working hard. Every year when I sit down, the management team brings me. Here's how we're going to price different things. And my first question always is, how do we make it so that a family that doesn't have all the money in the world or can be included in this? And so that's something that I focus on every year. And obviously with the new stadium, we're going to focus on that and make sure that we'll have affordable tickets.
Thank you to Mayor Bowser for your leadership, extraordinary, and we're here and glad to support you, and of course to Josh for your incredible leadership. Under Josh's leadership, this team has become a playoff team in a very short period of time. With this stadium, it will also become a leader off the field too. The Commanders' future is clearly a bright one.
Josh, what's helpful, or what's maybe the most helpful to your connection to the team, the growing up, the business person, the being an owner of other teams, when you're talking to the city council, what kind of stuff do you lean in on from your experience?
I think that it comes down to me growing up here is a big deal, and me having experienced what it was like, and what that does is it gives me the vision for what it could be like, and I can speak very authentically about the experiences that I had, the memories that I had, and here as an upper middle class kid that grew up in Chevy Chase, that got to really rejoice about the one game a year he could go, and people identify with that. I think that's the thing that's the most telling.
Moment in history. It puts me, I think, in a different place because I moved here from Texas. I wasn't a part of this history. I feel like I'm in the beginning of a new era. And this time I'm a beginning person, even though I'm not on the field. But I feel personally a part of it. But this seems like it's fresh, and I'm in it. I'm really in it. So I really feel more a part of Washington and the Commanders and the city today. It sounds weird, but then I have, because I know that I'm a part of it now. This is a beginning, but I have that past to support that. So it really sounds weird, but I just think this is special for all.
Welcome. Yes, we're here. We're here with the podcast in the minute. And I tell you what, it's going to take more than a minute, Donna, to talk about all the things that's going on. A great draft. Looked like they went for a lot of speed in it. But now they're going back to D.C.
Yeah, Tony, they are coming back home. The Commanders are coming back to RFK.
I guess I might have to come back and go to games now.
Yeah, the Commanders are coming back to RFK. That may not be the name because Josh Harris said that they don't know what that name is going to be. But finally, Tony, they were trying to figure out, would the new stadium be in Maryland? Would it be in DC? Would it be in Virginia? And Josh Harris always wanted it to be back in the district. He talked about growing up in the district, seeing the games there where you could see the Capitol and all of those things. And Tony, wow, the Commanders really wanted to be back in DC because they're putting up $2.7 billion of their money to get this stadium back. That is the Commanders. And then, I'm not going to go down to the breakdown of all the monies and all of that. But the stadium's supposed to be finished in the fall of 2030. They're hoping to break ground next year. Some of the things still need to be worked out. Commissioner was there today to talk about the Commanders being back there, the NFL, and all the pieces that have to. But Tony, you played when you came here at RFK Stadium. You ended your career there. Could you talk a little bit about what this means to you to have this team and this community to have the stadium back there in the district?
It's always nice to be able to look back and look at the places and the time and really go back in time and get it in your mind what was happening at that place at a certain time. I can always remember RFK, and when you first go into it, you would think it was just an old doubly used stadium. But when you get into it and you look at what the people are doing, they're shaking the stands and everybody's moving around. And whenever you go, it seemed like it was such a friendly stadium. And we had that good camaraderie there, not only with the team, but as well as with the people that wanted to see the team. I ain't gonna call us fans because fans are fair weather. The people that wanted to see and be now to bring that team back. That's very interesting, very important, and part of this franchise, building this franchise back to where it was.
But Tony, the great thing about this is that this is going to build up that area down there. So it's the place is perfect to have this stadium back there. You've got the Metro there, and they're building up around that whole area. If you look at Nets Park, they talked about Nets Park and looking at what it was before the baseball team got there and what it is right now. And so that's the structure. It's a lot of hurdles still to overcome, but to be able to have new residential area down there, a sports complex, as far as 12,500 new homes, 97 restaurants and bars, and then 7.4 million as far as just offices, bringing jobs they talked about back to the city, jobs that have been lost and everything. But I think that when you look at this, they said DC is on track to pay off Nationals Park construction bonds in 2026. So we looked at them having the capital and all of that the city has to put up too. But just to have the team back there, down there, and then what they're going to build up around there. They talked about the parking down there, 8,000 parking, and then the fan experience. They talked about that, Josh Harris, of bringing back better fan experience, because Tony, is a little part of parking and the tailgating and all of those things. It wasn't much room down there in the RFK, but in order to have the fan experience that other teams have, which Josh Harris talked about, that is that fan experience.
And what it's going to do, Donna, that camaraderie that we never felt at FedEx. Think about it. Did you ever have the feeling you were at both of them? Matter of fact, I met you at RFK. And did you ever have that?
Stands rocking. Bring that back, Tony. That's
exactly. The stands rocking. The people there. When you come out of tone, there's people right there where they can touch you almost and see you, and not because they want to do anything to you. We weren't worried about being close to the fans. Now they're bringing that back, but the thing that's important, they're bringing the good football back with it. If you want to be really true about it, during the time at FedEx Field, we only had 2 or 3 real good years. And I tell you what, it wasn't the time that you really look at it, and then they kind of cut it loose to veterans. We weren't really as close to the team as I thought we should be. And, because we still can bring things to the table. Plus, when you look at an organization and you look at a Super Bowl, it's not just the line of scrimmage that's important. It's the whole unit within. It's the whole football unit as well as the front office. And you got to make people know that we are a family. We are going to play together. We are working for the same goal. We're not just someone putting people out there and making it happen. We are someone that's going to make this a better city. And helping those down there, Donna, we might well see, can we maybe get a house down there? Every time I look, you on
affordable houses. They talk.
You know people. So maybe you can I maybe get a little shack down there? Anything if I want to live?
No, Tony, this is an upgrade. So the shacks is off, but Roger Goodell was there to talk about. They asked him about, hey, this stadium is supposed to have a roof, and they're going to use this stadium almost like think about Jerry Jones, of how he uses that stadium out there for more than just football. So it'll be able to bring in a lot of revenues because it'll have a roof. And when you look at, Tony, it's supposed to seat 65,000 seated stadium. So 65,000. Supposed to be finished again in 2030. And like I said, the rooftop, it's going to be nice as far as the complex and all of that out there. But Tony, before we talk a little bit more about the stadium, we got to catch up with Josh Harris, and Darrell Green was down there. Darrell Green, John Riggins, and Doug Williams, 3 people that won Super Bowls. They haven't won a Super Bowl. They were winning down at RFK, and they're looking to bring that winning back. But let's go hear what they had to say about being back home at RFK.
But there is no Washington, D.C., and there is no history like this team has, and there's no impact like the city has with the team ever in this region. I don't care how far you go, this is the biggest impact for a community, and I think they've got it better. It'll be better than it ever was. So I'm excited, man. Truthfully, I'm glad to be here.
Hey, Darrell, you started here at RFK, your career.
I sure did. That was my first game was in RFK, and the stadium was rocking, and I was scared to death, wanted to throw up. And I tell you what, I loved every bit of it. And everybody, and I just, there's so many of us are still alive, even before me and during my era, because I've been here a long time. We just celebrated 40 years anniversary, so I've been here about 42 years. So we got people who are older than me and younger than me, but it means a lot for us, and it's an exciting time. I know they've got things to get done, but I hope they get it done.
Again, Tony, when you look at what people are going to get with this deal taking place, it's not just a stadium that they're going to get. 5,000 to 6,000 new homes, 2,000 permanent full-time and part-time jobs, 14,000 construction jobs. That's jobs that's coming back to the city. $80,000 million sports complex facility, because the mayor talked about that right now they have those fields that they just built down there, I think a couple years ago. And so they want to build around there, because she talked about that track and field, they have to go outside the city, gymnastics and all that, because they don't have a facility to facilitate that. They'll have that back here, and at least 30% of the campus will be parks, trails, and green space. So they're building that up. Now, Tony, when you think about the infrastructure, as far as the roads, getting in and out to go to the games, unless you was riding the metro, it was a nightmare on 295. So they're going to have to do a lot of building up around there. And so what's next, Tony? 2025 council approval has to take place. And I think there were only 4 council people at that meeting on Monday. And then as far as the fall 2025, the planning of the parks, housing, and recreation, 2026, the stadium site groundbreaking, and then 2029 early, the Plaza District groundbreaking, and then 230 sports complex, and then the stadium finish again in fall of 2030. And the product that they are building right now, Tony, as far as winning last year, going to the championship game, just give me your last thoughts, Tony, as far as every piece that has to fit together, because you still have to have approval. We don't want happen with the basketball team and that falls through, but the mayor said that, right now is the budget, putting all the pieces together, because the Commanders are coming home.
Well, the Commanders will have to work with the city, and the city will have to work with the Commanders. That's what's going to make it happen. And the team within, whatever the name may be, will still say Commanders. They have to work within the pot with both of them. I think they already have a lot of good things going on. I'm not going to say no one particular thing, but I do have things that are going on right now. They're working behind the scenes. They're seeing what they can improve. They're trying to hit a little bit of everything. Better food, better individuals, better places to live. So I think that they really have got that where it needs to be. What has to happen, Donna, is everyone has to be on the same about everything. And that hasn't happened up until this time. So what we have to try to look at is work together. they hit that time zone. And the thing about it is, have some in football while they're doing it. If they're building that stadium, if these Commanders can start winning as much as they did last year, it's going to be a cinch. It's going to be something that our kids and different people will be talking about, and we'll be talking about the old stadium, Donna. But that's all we know right now. But we're looking forward to the new, and we're thinking of a grand idea.
Let me just say this is that the name is not going to be changed. They brought that up again because they're back at RFK Stadium in the district, everybody's wondering, they're going back to the old name. Nope. Josh Harris was talking about that today. They have moved on past that, and they like the name Commanders. And Tony, this is the single largest private investment in the district history, $2.7 billion. The Commanders to get that new stadium built up again. So it's a lot more talk about that new stadium, but it is excitement in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area as the Commanders, our Commanders, come on back.
Our Commander, you out, get off the wagon. You're getting on your clothes.
I've been a Commander for a long time too, Tony, but we've got to take a quick break right now and bring our sponsor in for the podcast. And then we'll be talking about, Tony, turning the pages from the Commanders being back home to the NFL draft just took place, and the Commanders with 5 people that was on the clock. We got to dissect that to see where this team heads on before minicamp. So we're going to take a break right now, Tony, and then we'll be right back to see what you really know.
I hope we'll be back in a minute.
Hey, it's Michelle Van Allen from Van Allen Real Estate. Listen, let me help you with whatever your real estate needs are, whether it's that commercial deal that you've been thinking about but just aren't sure, or if you're a first-time home buyer, got some really good first-time home buyer programs that I'd like to discuss with you. Or if you're looking to sell your property, let's discuss it. Let's make sure that you are poised in the right position that will benefit you most. I look forward to hearing from you. You can reach out to me at vanallenrealestate.com, VANALLEN realestate.com, or simply pick up the phone and give me a call, 202-642-9116, so we can discuss your real estate needs today.